The meaning of Paris for me is the capital for fashion.
Africa is here. We are taking our rightful place. President Orama's vision to support the creative industries has gone a long way in affirming how important African creatives are to the global creative value chain. This edition has been truly special. As our 5th edition, we have 20 African brands on the floor. The feedback has been incredible. The designers have really been elevating with each edition.
When we arrived, the first one, it was actually hilarious looking back because we had no idea. Right now, this is my 5th time doing it. I mean, the gap is huge. You cannot even compare from the beginning until now.
Being consistent and continuously being part of the Canex group has been really amazing.
I think the vision of each of these creative is so precise that you can tell that it takes more than just one round to get to that level of exactitude.
The feedback I've been getting for the past 2 seasons is like your signature has been refined.
Coming back the 2nd edition, we have been able to improve ourselves, to be able to tell the story very well. So it has helped us to better our craftsmanship, able to meet the standard, the global standard that we wish to be.
It's been an absolutely incredible experience because when I first came to Tranoi, this was 3 years ago, I was maybe naive in terms of business exposure and how to develop business relationships and rapport with potential clients and buyers. And I can see how I've improved so much in terms of how to make my systems more efficient.
My 3rd time. I've learned that one, we don't want to necessarily have 1,000 different business cards. There's a more sustainable way of doing it. You can just scan and go.
I've learned by doing this for 5 seasons. You have QR codes that buyers can now scan, go straight to the website, go straight to the lookbooks. Everything is all digitalized, but I had to learn this.
It's just become a much easier process.
We're more prepared and we communicate with our buyers through digital platforms.
I must confess that it's made it much easier, quicker. I find that I spend less time doing that and I really spend time on the core, which is designing.
This room here filled with the 20 designers from across the continent. We insist that the designers come to tell their own stories because each brand carries its own DNA.
African design has always been crucial in influencing a lot of European Western brands.
If we go back into history, African textiles, African motifs, African prints have been referenced by the international houses of fashion. What is changing now is we as the disruptors in fashion, we're coming and saying, hello, this is who we are, this is what we do, and we're standing firm on that ground.
Changing the narrative in terms of how the world sees Africa.
So basically the pieces are like storytellers and they are made to relay different stories about Africa, my experiences.
We're true to ourselves, we understand what we are, we understand who we are, and we also bring in that full force onto the center stage for the world to see.
I think it is important. I think Africa is an important part of the fashion world.
We tell the story of culture through the designs, through the garments, and that translates into the world of African luxury fashion.
So last night we experienced a fashion show of 3 Canex designers, an incredibly proud moment for us because we know where we come from.
African designs right now are currently being been brought onto the mainstream world of fashion. The fashion show yesterday was an amazing piece of production. Tebe Magugu, Lagos Space Program, Sukaina, this was a luxury show. It was an intentional show and it was very beautiful.
I could see how proud everybody was, and they were like, these are African designers presenting this standard of a fashion show, It was just beautiful to watch.
It was a magical moment, and we are just super, super grateful that our first in Paris felt so dangerous and so extraordinarily dramatic. So we are just happy.
We're quite proud and very, very honored to have had this runway show, and we are taking our rightful place in Paris Fashion Week on a global stage and affirming our position as a viable and an incredible, innovative source for inspiration for global fashion.
Canex has been very valuable for Dore Mashika. It's really like opened the doors.
I believe Canex has given us the opportunity to actually penetrate the global market.
You can be an amazing creative, but if you don't have the business acumen, you won't go far. And Canex and Tranoi provide this for you.
I always say wherever I get a chance to talk about Afrexim Bank and what they put together in Canex is something that is amazing. Afrexim Bank has believed in the creativity and the craftsmanship that is in Africa, and that is why they put their money there.
And I tell you what, I say a huge thank you to everyone at Canex and of course at Afrexim Bank as well. Canex has been a very instrumental platform for us as African creatives, as Nigerian creatives.
It's really like another stream of oxygen into your business, where you suddenly find yourself growing in exports.
I mean, with Canex, we're at Tranoi. With Canex, we're at Portugal. With Canex, we're at Tokyo in Japan. So it's really I call it a mover and shaker platform.
If I was to speak to a young brand who is telling me about Canex, go for it. Honestly, this is the best program for artists that has ever come up out of Africa.
I definitely think that Canex has had a very large role to play in how African brands are now being received. And being a part of this has been kind of cool.
They're doing what needs to happen in the background to just bring a voice from Africa by Africans, whether they live in Africa or in the diaspora.
I think we are well on our way in terms of making sure that Africa is a consistent feature in the global conversation with regards to fashion.